Okay, what's going on, YouTube? Happy Saturday. This is going to be a video actually that I've thought about for quite some time. Should I press record on this and actually talk about this? And I'm going to tell you why before I even go into this. A lot of times in black culture, if you say things, let's say if another black man actually says things that are actually true, some people get offended by that because they feel that as if you're picking on black people. But I just want to say before I even say any words, I am not picking on any race. I am literally stating to you what has happened to me since I opened my hot dog cart. I don't know what it is, but I've opened the gate, the floodgates. I've opened them for black men's comments. And it goes something like this. I was even, before I even say this, I was even going to ignore this comment. Say, you know what, I'm not going to talk about it because I know a lot of times when I talk about black issues here on YouTube, a lot of the black community get upset. But like I say, you know, I don't make up things. I only state what I see. So here it goes. So I had a couple black gentlemen approach me since I've been doing this and say, hey man, I tried to do something similar to this hot dog cart, right? But these white folks here, man, they don't want a brother to get ahead. So they made me do all this background check and all this other garbage and all this stuff, whatever, you know. They just don't want a black man to have nothing. So I'm sitting there listening to this whole thing, right? And I'm just like, okay, look. Every place that you go to has rules and regulations. But here's what I really think the problem was. This gentleman had a criminal record, and he was upset that they wanted him to go through a background check because he couldn't pass it. Because the same thing that he was talking about, I went through. I had to go through the background check. I had to go through all these things. It's called opening a business. So I'll go on. When I first moved to Sioux Falls, my wife and I walked into the gym. And for those of you who know me, my wife is a Caucasian lady. She's a human being who happens to be a Caucasian lady. Notice I said human being first. But anyways, so we walk into the gym, and she had problems on the treadmill. She couldn't get the treadmill to work. And there was a black gentleman there who happened to be the janitor. So at the same time, my wife is trying to get this thing to work, there's another guy who's standing right beside her trying to help her out who happens to be a Caucasian guy. So here's what the black guy says to me. He didn't know the lady was my wife. You see that? She don't want to listen to a brother trying to give her advice on how that thing should work, and she not listening to me, she listened to the white man. And I didn't say that's my wife or anything like that. I just let the guy vent. Let the guy say whatever was on his mind. And then later on that day, he had this crazy look on his face when he found out that that lady was my wife. He immediately felt, oh, maybe I jumped to conclusions. Then, last night, I had a taxi cab driver. Said when I had to go through this paperwork, they wanted me to go through the background check. They want me to do this and do that and all these other kind of things. And keep in mind, too, that this guy is foreign that is doing this. And there was another guy who was a Caucasian guy. They just kind of sped through his whole process. Now, before I even go into that, let me just say something. Do I think racism exists? You damn right it does. But do I care? Hell no. Why don't I care? Look, no one can control what another person thinks. Right? But here's where it gets tricky. If you, the black man, the minority, the woman, or whatever you are, the Jewish, the Muslim, If you choose to work a job or to do a lot of things in this world, you're going to have to go through those things. Let's just talk about a job for a second. Because a lot of times I get a lot of, and don't get me wrong, I'm not just picking on black men here. But here's the thing. This is why I'm mentioning black men. Let me tell you why I'm mentioning black men. Because no other culture comes to me and has these conversations. Let me say it again. No other culture has came to me, the Mexican. I've dealt with Russians. I've dealt with Filipinos. I've dealt with Chinese. The only ones, I guess, that feel comfortable enough to come and talk to me about these particular conversations that I'm talking about now are black men. And it's almost like they come with a chip on their shoulder, like everybody hates them. Okay, now let me get back to this, whatever. If you choose to work a job, right? Let's just say I was the boss. The government may say, well, you need to hire an Asian person, you need to hire have diversity in your workforce and all that and stuff. At the end of the day, I hire who the hell I want to hire, right? I'm going to hire the best candidate. If the best candidate isn't black, I'm going to hire the guy who's the best candidate. I don't get caught up in all that madness. I don't spend my day worrying about what somebody else thinks of me. Can you see the low self-esteem in that? Can you see? Now I like to draw pictures and show things. If I drew a picture of what that guy actually felt inside, that probably would be an 80-year-old woman with the humpback and the cane. Stop thinking stop worrying about what everybody thinks of you. And this is not just going out to the black man, this is going out to anybody who feels, I can't do something because they don't like me. I know there's a lot of people don't like me. There's a lot of business people that don't like me because my business right now is rock and roll. It's running, it's moving. It's doing what it needs to do. You know why? Because I'm focused on my business. I'm not worrying about what Joe thinks of me. And Joe may think that, look at that black man. Look at that nigger out there. I don't care about that. That's something Joe has to work with. I work with myself. I get in my zone every day I walk out that door. And I do what I have to do to make it. I don't care. Look. I live in a predominantly white area, 95%. If there's anybody that was supposedly to get discriminated with, it should be me. But I walk in there and I shake hands with those people and I tell those people that I want to do business with you. They can either say one or two things, yes or no. But a lot of people don't have success in business because you know why? They got that big wall up. And that wall basically is that what if? They're not going to do this because I'm this. They're not going to do that because I'm that. Just get out there and do things. I'm just tired of having the conversation. I'm just tired of people coming to me saying, I can't do this because I'm this, and they're discriminating against me. Look, a lot of people lack culture, being culturally aware and stuff like that. A lot of people lack that, A lot of times it's not just because of a color, it's just because they don't know anything but the things they've been doing. So I don't spend time on obstacles. I spend time on solutions. That's just me. So I'm going to open the platform to this debate. And I want to tell everybody right now, no matter what color you are, don't be afraid to respond to this and say what you got to say. Say what you have to say about this video. Because this conversation is one that needs to be had. Totally. So, with that said, guys, I just wanted to share to you some conversation that goes on through my life. And I'm actually thinking about getting a one of my friends told me it's a Bluetooth camera. And I want to record some of these conversations so you guys can hear it for yourself, so you won't think that I'm just out here making this up. You will be amazed at the low self-esteem and the way that people feel about themselves. People today, I can see why they're unsuccessful. They don't think they can do anything. So, Thank you guys for watching this channel. And until next time, signing off.